So, hello, fellow citizens. Welcome to the Venture Origins podcast. I'm here with the leader of, let me get this right, the Lost Souli.
Yes, correct.
All right. So we have Void Walker with me today. Um, so Void, give us some general information about your org. What are you guys all about? Who are you guys?
Well, the Lost Souli is essentially the. I'll kind of like summarize the backstory. It's got a little bit of a role playing aspect into it. Hopefully, it'll be more a part of it as orgs become more of an actual thing within the game. Um, Chris Roberts has always been kind of talking about how he wants orgs to kind of fit their own story within Star Citizen story and kind of be a little bit more official.
Mhm.
We kind of our backstory is essentially a bunch of different humans from different places, kind of war torn areas that got for whatever reason ended up in jail and kind of met each other and also met a Banu there as well. And they kind of all plot and escape together. And the Banu was like, "Hey, I actually got some people. I got a plan. Just stick to my lead." And then eventually, there's a big riot, big breakout, and Banu essentially has his people come rescue these humans along with him.
Mhm.
And as the humans help him follow through with his plan as well, because without the humans, he couldn't do anything. Um, and the band was like, "Hey, like I'll break you out, but you guys gotta essentially work for our Souli back at home." So the humans kind of get integrated into the culture and learn some skills and eventually become Souli, which is like the leader of the Souli, and they kind of take that on the road once they become leader, and they're known as the Lost Souli. So they kind of roam around, do whatever jobs are needed. Um,
Mhm.
we're an org that does a little bit of everything. Right now, we're a bit casual. Kind of just helping new players get caught up on everything. Make sure they know all the basics about the game. Uh, help them out with whatever career field they want to kind of like go into. We make sure they learn the skills they need and supply them with ships and whatever else.
How long has your org been around? Or, I mean, have you guys played in different previous, other games prior to Star Citizen? Or
Well, we so far just Star Citizen. I mean, we will play other games together. Whenever Star Citizen like is in the state it is now. Where not many people can kind of get in. We'll play other stuff together. Other than that, like, no, we've been around for about I want to say 3 years now.
oh wow, okay.
So it's been around for a little bit, but our org is a little off and on with as far as being active. The uh, the co-founders of the org, there are two others. They got burnt out, and so it kind of became once it kind of became where I'm doing everything myself. It kind of hard to manage, and I
Oh
guess where this
jeez.
kind of helps out with. So you know, we are essentially accepting anybody who wants a leadership position. They're more than welcome to come in and apply for it and set up an interview, much like this, and uh,
I bet
see if
I
they're a
bet
good
that's
fit.
more than welcome. Everything
Yeah.
just kind of fell on your shoulders, and yeah, it seems like you were not expecting that. Or maybe you were, I don't know.
Well, I
Uh
kind of yeah. Well, I didn't think that they would leave like that, But I mean, after 3 years, I've seen it many times. We've been active probably three or four good times. We had a good stint of really good activity,
mhm.
but when it's just me, it definitely got harder and harder as the time went on, and the I guess the more I've wanted to do with the org. So yeah, yeah, and it's hard to find good leadership. or people that actually want to do it, because running a Discord, you got to really want to do that. So
Right. I
that
agree
kind of thing.
wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's come back a little bit. The scope of operations. If you want to pinpoint it, concisely, what would a new player expect out of you guys? Let's fast forward to say the game's launched on day one. What does a new player what can they look forward to joining the Lost Souli?
Well, essentially, for anybody that doesn't know what a Suli is, it's a bunch of different guilds that specialize in different roles within the game. And what I really want to achieve is have essentially a Suli for each game loop in the game. So, a new player comes in, they see the org, and I want them to be able to kind of get in with a Suli that they want to get into, and link up with some higher up to help them kind of get where they need to go. And they're not locked into a certain Suli either. They can, if you get bored with mining or something like that, you could switch over to a different Suli. And for anybody that wants to do a little bit of role playing as well. So definitely not required, but I want there to be a role playing aspect as well.
Cool. And as for you, what's your favorite activity in Star Citizen?
Well,
I know it's it could be.
yeah. Well, I mean, right now mine is just salvage because it's the new toy. It's the new shiny thing that's been waving in front of us. I've been enjoying it. Trying not to get burnt out on it because I do like it. So taking it slow a little bit, but yeah. Hopefully the next would be bounty hunting, because I kind of heard about, kind of where they want to get with bounty hunting later on this year. And so I'm hoping that gets fleshed out a little bit more. And if it does, that'll be my new shiny toy to play with for a little bit.
Cool. And I mean, where do you see your org? Like, what do you project it to be? Like, say a year or two from now, just
A year or two from
hypothetically.
now?
Yeah, just to get an idea, if someone were to join today and say the game comes out, which I like to be optimistic, but it's probably not going to come out in a year or two. But
yeah,
if it does, I mean, where would you like to see it? What's your vision for the org?
I don't need it to be thousands of people within the org.
Interesting. Okay.
But, if it does get to that point, then that's fine too. But, mostly I want to focus on just having a really good group of people that really like playing together and, can learn and teach each other different things. Just as long as we have fun, right now we're only, I think, on the Discord, a little bit under 100 people. And then on the RSI website, we're like 122 people. But I think as far as people that actually play at the moment within the org, it's probably a good maybe like 10 people, a little bit less than a dozen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but the thing is, like, the 10 people that have stuck around and actually kind of play, like, we're pretty good together and really good people. So I think, to answer your question, just have a good group of people to play with a decent chain of command to kind of get any new player where they need to get in Star Citizen. And yeah, that's it. So I have some very extensive plans in detail that I have like on like spreadsheets and stuff that I've been sitting on for a while now to get to that point where I can put them in there. But
so while you're doing this, shifting gears a little bit here, do you plan for your org to operate out of any particular star system?
At the moment, I don't want to make any like sort of plans like that because I just don't know where it's going to go. We we don't even have pyro yet, so I don't even know what that's going to be like. You know, it just I think I need to see a little bit more. Um,
Mhm.
I think little tidbits like that will probably I'll start writing into the org as you know, we get more leadership and then see a little bit more from Star Citizen come out over the years.
Fair enough. Um, so for a new player right now, um, I think you mentioned before that you have maybe a core group of 10 or so people, but usually most are right now what just taking a break or maybe burnt out, if you will.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so for anybody that's new right now, what does that look like? Are you guys on every other night, or is it?
Um, well, essentially, you know, um, everybody is welcome to also join other orgs, so they're not like stuck in my org either. And so that's essentially what we've all done. We have like a good like circle of maybe like 4 or 5 different orgs that we kind of like pop in and out of, and we'll play together in different orgs, and then we'll pop into my org every once in a while. So at the moment, that's where we're at. But I think um, in order for that to change, like I said, I need a little bit more of leadership within the org to help out with some other stuff before we get back into like the serious stuff where we're doing, you know, solely stuff in my org.
I see. And what are the requirements to join your org?
Uh it's super basic. Just don't be a butthole. You know, that I mean honestly, like we're welcoming everybody. I mean pirates
Mhm.
too. You know, we're not necessarily most of us aren't really too much into the piracy thing, but we're not against it because it is a big core gameplay feature, you know. But just yeah, just be nice, you know. Just be respectful of people within the org. You don't need to have any sort of special skills because we will train up anybody that needs that. And then also we're, you know, anybody who's been in since 2013 that knows everything about the game also extremely welcome because we do need a little help with teaching other people, you know. So
Right.
yeah, anybody
S-
really.
Seniority is always welcome. Um, you know, it's one of the most common requirements is don't be an asshole or a butthole. Um, and everyone leads with that one every time I ask this question.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's well. So I guess there has to be an org that takes in all those assholes. All right, they're gonna be homeless. So
Oh, there are some like strictly griefing, you know, orgs out there where they do welcome the assholes, but I just can't imagine an org doing well with all the drama. You know, I just maybe they do it just fine, but I've never been in an org like that, so I don't know how they operate. But
oh man.
God, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask you to name some off of the top of your head because I don't want to give any attention to them. Since they're assholes. um, so where can future or potentially future members find you guys? And don't worry, you can forward all your info to me. I'll put in the description below. But in general, do you guys have a separate site and on a Spectrum page or Discord? And
Oh, well, we have a Discord. It is the Lost Souli. We are mainly on Discord. The RSI site, of course, which is the Lost Souli, and then you know, any of my YouTube channels will also have all the info for all the Discord channels and everything. We will have. I am planning on bringing up a website at some point here soon, maybe within a year or so. I'm not sure.
mm,
And
okay,
I'm gonna really flesh that out, make it really nice. It'll be essentially the introduction to anybody wanting to join or just joining to kind of show them what to expect, that kind of thing. Put schedules up there for different events. Yeah, I got big plans.
cool. What was the benefit of having your own separate page apart from CIG's? org pages or Spectrum.
What's the benefit of being on Spectrum?
No, 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 no. Having your own webpage, or is that?
Oh, I think it just it's another source for people to have um just to get to the right information, because I think there's only so much you can do on the RSI page. There's only so much you can do on Discord. Um, at least with a website, it's yours, so you can display the info how you want to. So from I'm friends with other orgs where I've seen their web pages, and it just like they convey the information so much nicer, so much easier to follow than the RSI page, because the RSI and Spectrum and all that, it's not very user friendly to a new person. All of that is like just it goes over way like everybody's heads, and I just remember being a new player and trying to navigate all of that, and I was just like, I have no idea. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it took me a while to get used to that. So I think a nice simple web page that kind of points you like, hey, these are the events that we're doing, when and where to show up, what are the requirements if there are any, um, which in the org too in the future, kind of go back to one of your uh, older questions to kind of, I guess, what to expect in the org is we're going to have tiers. So essentially, we're going to have a chain of command, and certain events are going to allow everybody to do. And then there's going to be other events that only allow certain chain of command. It really depends on the importance of the event and what we're doing. But essentially, everybody's going to be able to do events, but it will be kind of tiered a little bit.
Cool. Yeah,
Um,
I always like to ask this question because yeah, a number of people that I've talked to, they started a website, and
mm-hmm.
I'm just curious of the reasoning, apart
Oh,
from
yeah.
what CIG already offers or I should say provides. Um, just to wrap things up, and I like to flip things a little bit here, but what was the origin of what's the origin story of your org, of the Lost Souli? Like what was the reasoning? How?
Oh, well, it was just me and two other work buddies. Became really good friends. We were all in the military together,
Oh, you're in
and
the military. Oh.
um, we all kind of slowly got out one by one, and it was just a really good way to, um, I guess, play something together. Like I think around that time, I got my first PC, and I was like, which game to download first? And Star Citizen was that first one. Um, I got in and quickly realized you need friends. So I reached out to my friends, and they're like, hell yeah, let's do it. And so we got, obsessed, and we kind of realized like, well, what if everybody else kind of has an org? Let's do it ourselves. So, it's nothing too crazy. It's just a
Okay.
bunch of friends that got together and was like, let's do it. Like, I was the main one that really was like, hey, let's start an org on Discord and try to get more people in here for like a crew. So
Hey, for friendship essentially, and for
yeah,
community, and then
yeah.
hey, that's good enough. It's kind of like the Texan slogan. It's friendship, believe it or not. I thought for a long time it was guns and God and glory, but it literally is friendship, which that
Wow. Okay.
yeah. So,
I didn't
but
know that
hey,
either.
starting an org is that's good enough of a reason of any.
Yeah.
Um, is there any last words, any messages you want to give out to the community, or maybe for the future members?
Just everybody's welcome. So, and then we're very open to other opinions too. And so if anybody has, wants to come in and, if you go through the interview process of, you know, being in leadership and stuff like that, we are very open to changing a little bit of stuff here and there. So I want everybody's ideas to kind of have some sort of um, meaning within our org as well. I want other people to feel included into the story and stuff like that, because I feel like the more you include other people, then the more they feel like the org is theirs as well to a point. And yeah, everybody's welcome. So
And there you have it. Void Walker Joe, leader of the Lost, or I'm sorry, the Last Souli.
Lost Souli.
Lost Souli.
Yes.
I'll get this right. It's only our second episode, so the
Hey, you're good.
Lost Souli. Void
Yes.
Walker Joe, thank you for coming out.